What's up, YouTubers? My name is Brennan. This is Super Nerd Hobbyist, and today we're making a Charmander statue from Pokemon. So to get started, this is the Charmander statue I got from Etsy. We got his main body, the rock he stands on, the little lava stand with his Pokédex number right here, number 4. And then his little flame on his tail. Now, as far as filament, I will use just regular generic PLA for all 3 of these, or all 4 of these pieces. But the flame, I'm going to use a transparent red. And that way I don't have to airbrush it, and it'll give it more of a realistic look. We're going to see how long these prints will take. So let's get to it. So the main body will take about an hour and 53 minutes. The rock base is going to be about 2 hours and 15 minutes. The main base and Pokédex number is going to be about 2 hours and 19 minutes. And then the flame is going to be about 21 minutes and 30 seconds. Okay, let's get to it. Alright, so this is what it looks like now when all be done. This Charmander's body. This is a little rock he stands on. His little flame tail I made. There's a little flame on his tail that I made from that transparent red. And then the base. And then, of course, his little number that goes on the base right here. So, next step, of course, is to take off all these little supports. Just please remember, when you're doing this, do not take off anything that belongs to him, because it will break off. It's really easy to destroy these pieces, so just take your time taking off these pieces and getting them all off. So I'm gonna take them all off, all these pieces, and get them ready, and we should be ready for the next step. Let's get to it. So after all that's done, this is what he looks like. So as you see, little spots like his head or the back of his tail, or this or the rock, you want to make sure that there's not a lot of layer lines. So we're just going to take sandpaper, sand that down, put some Bondo putty on it to smooth it over, and after that dries, sand it down a little bit to make it smooth, and it'll be ready to paint. this is the reason why I said make sure you take off your supports with ease. He has 4 little teeth, and if you can see it, I accidentally destroyed one of them. So I think I just might leave him that way. It's probably easier than trying to replace it or trying to reprint him. So fortunately my Charmander is going to have 3 teeth, so it's the price you pay. Okay, so we'll get on to the next step. Let's get to it. So to get ready for this next step, you're going to need acetone, your Bondo putty, and some gloves with some sandpaper. I'm just using about 180 grit and just really getting down in those crevices, making sure it's as flat as possible, getting it ready for the putty. And to make sure that it's completely smooth, we're going to use 1200 grit sandpaper and really get down in there. Then we're going to put our gloves on and use a little bit of that acetone to water down that Bondo putty. It's mainly because this putty is more like toothpaste thick. The acetone breaks it down and turns it more into a watery paste, so you can cover all those rings in different areas just like that. So this is what it looks like after everything's done. Next step is to primer it, and I want to use this airbrush acrylic black. Do about 1 or 2 layers across it. So that's what Charmander looks like. The only thing I won't have to paint is his tail. I use transparent filament for that, so it's pretty much already done. So we're going to set that to the side. We're going to airbrush his body, his little rock stand, the base, and then the number. That has his little Pokédex number, number 4. It'll look like something like this. Alright, let's get into paint that primer, and then we'll get into the colors. So we got done putting primer on all of these pieces. Next up is paint them individually. I'm gonna start with Charmander. I'm gonna, of course, his main primary color is orange, so I'm gonna use this regular airbrush paint orange. And then, as you like see in a picture of Charmander, he has this little white belly right here. So it's kind of white, but it's kind of tan. I don't really have a color like this, so the closest thing I'm going to get to it is mixing just regular white with this yellow orange color. It'll give it more of a tan color. So how I'm going to do that is I'm just going to paint part of his belly that whole white, do a couple layers, and then do little by little layer of yellow orange to kind of give it that tan look. And when you do this, you want to make sure you just put as little as possible and spray as little as possible to give it that nice look. And then we're going to paint these rocky surfaces this dark gray, do a couple layers of that, and then we're probably going to take like a little brush and use a little white and get along those edges and dry brush it to kind of give it that worn out rock look. And then at the bottom here is this kind of like lava rock, so we're also gonna paint like the rock texture around the ring the same dark brown or dark gray, and then probably gonna mix some orange and red colors in the cracks to give it kind of like that live lava look. And then of course paint the Pokédex entry number. I might just do silver on this, and then of course paint the Pokeball differently and then white for the numbers. But everything like the bottom part of the base and stuff will probably be silver, like it's on a metal stand. So we're gonna go and do that. So first we'll do Charmander, then the rock, then the base, and finally this little piece, and then we should be ready to piece it all together and glue it all together. Okay, let's get to it. So this is what we got so far. He got all of his orange, got his beige collar, and I painted his eyes white so when I do the collar it'll stand out more. So the next steps of this is to color in the rest of it, which I'm just going to use by brush to make it a little bit easier. I have a little finer brush I want to use for this. I kind of like the look of this base. Gonna have darker rock with the red. It kind of makes it stand out more, like it's been burned. Since this is a lot lighter than this, I noticed I used a lot less gray on this and kept more black. So I'm just gonna take the brush and paint a little bit more black on this to make it a little bit darker. Then also another thing I forgot is on the sides right here, these little pieces that droop down on either side is actually supposed to be lava spewing out the side of it like that. So I'm also just going to take the brush and work in some more of that orange and red and make it look like it's actually coming out. And as for Charmander, I'm just going to take some black to highlight some of the edges. Probably going to use some pink on the inside for his tongue, and then color in his teeth and his eyes. And then of course color in this Pokeball and stuff in here. Use some white to highlight the number. So we're going to be doing all that. Like I said, the colors we're going to use, I'm just going to use some of my airbrush paint. So we got black, pink, blue. This is kind of a sky blue for his eyes. Orange for more of that lava. And then also red for that lava. And I'm also going to use some white to highlight some of the edges of this rock, including the big one, to kind of give it more of a lifelike look. And I think that's all we need for this, so let's get to it. And this is Charmander after he's done. I think it turned out really well. The only thing I did not show you guys was the base. After I got done gluing the pieces all together, I painted the base a silver color and then went back over the little Pokeball and number right here. But after that, this is what he looks like now. I think it looks really, really good. I like the way the tail looks on this, and the way I colored the eyes. It really makes it pop out. Even a little lava spewing out the side. So, please let me know in the comments if you guys like this kind of stuff and want to see more of the starters. I think if I do another one of these, the next one might be Squirtle. So let me know down below if you want to see that again. And please like, share, subscribe, and follow for more content. Okay, see you guys in the next video. Peace.